525 BC, 50,000 Persian warriors marched to seize the oasis of Amun in the Egyptian desert. Suddenly the sky darkens and a wall of sand engulfs the army. They're buried alive by a catastrophic storm. Not one warrior survived, but there's a creature that walks through such storms like strolling through a park, who is mad enough or so protected. Today you'll learn what weapon of nature kills without leaving marks on the body. You'll see a creature that survives where entire armies perish, and you'll understand why Martian storms are child's play compared to earthly hell. Ready? Sandstorms seem less terrifying than tsunamis or volcanic eruptions. Hide, cover your face, wait it out, and you're fine. But the truth is darker. Storms carry spores, heavy metals, chemicals, and bacteria. This toxic mixture triggers cardiovascular disease, eye infections, and countless ailments. In the 1930s, dust storms covered the US and Canada due to drought. In October 1935, a measles epidemic erupted in Kansas. Streptococcal infections reached record levels. Child mortality skyrocketed. Researchers linked this to the storms. In Africa, they caused meningitis outbreaks. In the US, fever from fungal spores. Sand brings invisible death that penetrates the body and destroys it from within. Evolution turned camels into impenetrable survival machines. They have closable nostrils that don't let sand through. A double row of extra-long eyelashes protects the eyes. Each eye has a transparent membrane, like an inner eyelid. It blocks sand grains but lets light through so they can see their way through the storm. What happens without this protection? One grain of sand in the eye, hellish pain, and a scratched cornea. The scratch leads to infection and ulcers. A mountain of sand to the face can blind you forever. If sand gets into the lungs and contains silicon dioxide, fibrosis begins, irreversible organ scarring. Lungs shrink and breathing becomes impossible without medical devices. People lose orientation when there's only sand and wind around. Getting lost and dying is easier than suffocating. But the camel doesn't care. Camels can survive without water for 15 days. Humans endure 3 at most, a colossal difference. Wide feet prevent sinking into sand. Camels barely sweat, losing minimal moisture. Humps don't store water as people think. That's fatty tissue. When it breaks down, each gram of fat releases more than a gram of water. Imagine what happens to a human after 2 weeks without water. Death. But the camel keeps going. During a storm, when other animals hide, the camel stubbornly moves forward. If it decided to go straight, it'll go straight, even if there's a wall of death ahead. This is the confidence of a creature that knows. The storm isn't scary. When sand tears away the topsoil and destroys crops, the camel remains unshakable. It goes where it intended. Most mammals die if their body temperature fluctuates by a few degrees. Camels withstand body temperature changes from 93 degrees at dawn to 104 in the evening. They cool down at night and don't overheat during the day. They have a complex of arteries and veins lying close together. They cool the blood flowing to the brain. Maintaining brain temperature is critically important. Long legs keep the body away from scorching sand. Thick fur reliably insulates from heat. And in warm months, it lightens, reflecting light and preventing burns. 2 humped camels from the Gobi grow shaggy fur in winter and shed it in summer, like a jacket. They're comfortable in cold and heat. These are living thermostats, functioning where others would boil or freeze. Desert fluctuations are enormous, scorching heat by day, freezing cold by night. But the camel doesn't care. When a storm covers territory, it's not just people who suffer. Soil loses its fertile layer. Animals lose their food. Sand penetrates equipment and buildings, destroying from within. Even solid metal can't withstand the attack of hard particles. They corrode surfaces, turning machinery into junk. Machines break down, electronics fail, buildings crack. Scientists claim climate is changing. The number of storms is growing. Is Earth turning into Mars? Not quite, but the problem is very real. Droughts are becoming more frequent. Deserts are expanding. Storms are getting stronger. Animals living underground wait out the bad weather. Local fauna has adapted. But civilization suffers. Crops die. Health deteriorates. And while we struggle with the consequences, camels continue doing what they've done for millions of years. They walk through storms, Every year on Mars, enormous storms the size of continents emerge. Once every few years, they encircle the planet, and they're visible through a telescope. Sounds terrifying? But the truth will disappoint. Maximum wind speed during Martian storms, about 60 miles per hour. That's less than half the speed of some earthly hurricanes. Mars's atmosphere is about 1% of Earth's density. It's incredibly thin. To launch a kite, wind would have to blow many times faster. Martian storms from movies, exaggeration. But earthly storms, that's another matter. They tear metal off vehicles, destroy buildings, carry diseases, and change climate. Scientists debate whether they lead to warming, but while some fear, others ignore them. Dust storms carry not only death, they create life. Dust crossing the Atlantic Ocean from Africa makes Amazonian soil fertile. The Amazon, a freshwater river, plants lack minerals. Dust from African storms contains iron and phosphorus, everything needed. Enormous quantities annually cross the ocean and settle in the jungle. Without African storms, there would be no Amazon jungle. Nature's paradox. What kills in one place gives life in another. Sand flies across the ocean and turns soil into a garden for millions of species. Each storm, a delivery of nutrients across thousands of miles. Nature works like a logistics system. The desert feeds the jungle. Death gives birth to life, and all thanks to wind and sand. But camels don't think about this. Camels are proof that evolution creates perfect survival machines. Closable nostrils, double eyelashes, transparent membranes on eyes, ability to go without water for 15 days, body temperature adaptation from 93 to 104 degrees, wide feet that don't sink in sand, thick fur protecting from heat and cold, brain cooling system. All this, the result of millions of years of adaptation to harsh conditions. While 50,000 Persian warriors perished in a sandstorm, camel ancestors calmly went their way. While people invented shelters and protective technologies, camels already possessed everything necessary. They don't run from storms, don't hide. They go forward because a storm for them, not a threat, but ordinary weather. This is nature's lesson. Adaptation conquers fear. Evolution is stronger than catastrophes. And while we fear sandstorms, camels prove you can live where death seems inevitable. They walk through walls of sand without slowing down. These merciless conditions for them are home. See you soon.